Hi guys, Nate McCormick here from B&B Music, here to talk to you today a little bit about some loopers. I've got 3 examples that I want to show you and kind of go over just to give you a different variety of what we showcase here at B&B. We've got the RC30, we've also got the RC300, which is the much bigger and more powerful unit. We also have the M13, which is a Line 6 offering that is much more than a looper, but it kind of puts itself in that looper category, being that it does have a very comprehensive system. Okay,
alright guys,
so I'm ready when you are.
Hi. Let's talk a little bit first about the RC30. The RC30 to me is one of the simpler units, besides the very simple RC3 or even the very, very basic Ditto looper, which is just one button and one knob that we both carry and sell. I just kind of want to talk about a little bit more step-up units, but this is a great place to start if you've never had a looper before. The great thing about this, you have 2 separate tracks for your looping, so you can turn one off and on, turn it up and down, so if you like your vocals on a track a little louder than your guitar stuff, you can do it that way. Also has the loop effects, really killer rhythms, and you can control your microphone volume. So this one in particular will have an input for a microphone. That being said, let's lay down a loop and kind of play. Alright, so I've got my first loop going, and I've had this playing through a powered speaker I have on a stick over here. Otherwise, I can now layer this pretty much infinitely if I want to add just a little bass groove. Here we go. Alright, cool. Now I have that in there. So let's go to track 2 and let's record a little bit on that. I'll do my vocals on there. Okay, now I got a little beatbox on there. So if I want my guitar to be a little louder, bring that up. Now my guitar is kicking. If I want to bring it down, I can do that. If I want to select it for effects, you can do that as well. It's got the bend, step, filters, delays, and even an old record player kind of sound, or lo-fi as it explains. So that's cool. Now to just show you separation. Now I can take that and I can stop it, but I haven't stopped my original track. So if I want to stop the original track, I can do that too. Now they're both flashing. Bring them both in. If I want to add rhythm besides what I had vocally, I can bring in this. Now you can hear a little accent going on. Bring in the type of it. Make it a bit more rockin' if you want to. Pretty cool, huh? So that's kind of the start of the RC30. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about here is the M13. This is actually more of a modeling pedal with tons and tons of effects in it, but it does have that DL6 type of looper built in, which has gotten very famous for Line 6 and has kind of been a just an archetype for other loop designs over the years. Let's just start off with a couple of the sounds that you get out of this thing. I mean, some of my favorite stuff is going to be within the reverbs, this octaverb stuff. Very pretty stuff to me. Otherwise you have vibes, delays, and of course crazy distortion and stuff. But let's get to the looper functionality. Basically, we start with laying down one track. I still have my microphone plugged into my other stuff. You typically can't plug a mic directly into it, but you can plug a mic into something before it and then kind of run it through that way. How I'm going to do this today is I'm going to act like I don't even have a microphone plugged in, and I'm going to use my guitar as my little beatbox, so to say. So let's play a little bit. Let's start with one of those cool sounds. We're just going to loop with that sound real quick here. Now I've got my first one down, and I can come back and I can turn off that sound and maybe put something else in there. Go back to our looper. So now I got a cool little volume swell thing going on in the background. Now let's do a little bit of that, you know, punching kind of thing. Alright, now that's in there. Very cool. Nice little punchy sort of thing. Now I can do some things on this that the other loopers don't have, like a reverse. Also things like half speed. So if I wanted to record anything with this on, it'll just automatically make it twice as fast. So let's do this. Here it's normal speed. Let's bring it out at half speed. Really cool. So now I got that nice little high-pitched kind of squirrely sounding guitar. Reverse it. Now I can do stuff over top of this while it's in reverse. So if I wanted to... See, now I'm getting a little carried away. But you can see a lot of the fun that we had with this piece here in particular. Let's move on, shall we? Last but not least, hey, my chin. The RC300. The RC300 is the 3-track looper. So to say, just like that RC30 with 2 tracks, you actually have 3 separate tracks that you can bring in and bring out. And then, of course, you can mix them over here. So again, if you like your vocals to be a little louder, you can keep them on a certain track, and it'll play back a little bit louder. As you record, it's not going to be a louder input, so to say, unless you have your input gained up a little bit over here. But you can see throughout the board, there's tons of stuff to be able to manipulate the sound overall and give you a good mix of sound when you're coming out to your sound man. So let's start playing a little bit. So now you can see that that's playing. Once the red light goes in, then I can record again. So let's overdub on that. Okay, cool. So now let's take advantage of these 2 tracks as well. Knowing that I can do things like vocals. you can see I can separate things. Just get the vocals, or my first track, or kill the beat. Now if I want to, I've got it set up for other right now, which means I have it set up on a delay. There's tons and tons of different modulations you can do to it, but as long as that light's on, now this adds the expression. Start, I'll stop. Say I think my vocal's a little too loud, I'll bring that down a little bit. Very subtle now. If I want to kick in a different rhythm, bring that in. Different types of rhythms. I can even keep that going until I hit everything off. But that's a lot of different functionality that you get with this unit, and this is just scratching the surface on all these. So hopefully you enjoyed my little video. Hopefully my face wasn't too far out for you. I'm sure I'll talk to you later.